A new book has hit the shelves about a subject that makes many, many people, blacks and whites alike, feel very uncomfortable. It's about the just compensation that is due to the descendants of slaves in America for their kidnapping and 300 years of forced enslavement under the auspices of the American government. Now, who would put out a book like that except maybe Louis Farrakhan or Al Sharpton, or maybe some other person that is characterized as quote-unquote black radical? The truth of the matter is that it is none of the above. The well-renowned and highly respected Randall Robinson, founder of Trans-Africa, wrote it, and it's entitled The Debt: What America Owes to Blacks. Robinson is the powerful organizer who was credited with building the mass movement that changed America's foreign policy toward leaders of South Africa and helped bring about the fall of apartheid. Now he has now decided to reach down into the very soul and psyche of this nation and deal with the question of the unpaid debt for slavery. Listen to what Robinson says, quote, "The economic and psychic consequences of slavery are enormous. It has resulted in an overrepresentation in prisons, single mother families, and children who are not competitive in school. The book serves to provoke a discussion that we have to have," unquote. But Randall was not alone in making the argument for reparations. He's just the latest exponent in a whole line of efforts. Let us not forget that Representative John Conyers, a Democrat from the state of Michigan, has introduced in Congress a bill to, quote, "acknowledge the fundamental injustice, cruelty, and inhumanity of slavery in the United States," unquote. We all know it has never really been seriously debated. In psychological terms, we refer to the Congress and the American people as being in a state of denial. And then, of course, there is NCOBRA, which stands for the National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations in America, which, by the way, just capped off their 6th annual Reparations Awareness Week here in Chicago. Both of these groups, along with Robinson, make the case that this problem does not really have anything at all to do with the personal responsibility of any white person today. It has everything to do with the culpability and the responsibility of the United States government, an institution that for over 400 years has been charged with the responsibility of preserving and protecting the welfare rights and liberties of the American people. And so if we can embrace the flag and what it stands for, and none of us were here when the flag was made, and if we can accept all of the rights and the liberties of the Constitution, and none of us were here when the Constitution was written, and if we can accept every historical event and occurrence that has served to make this country the most powerful and wealthiest nation on earth, we should also be willing to accept the other aspects of this country's history that are less than noble. Slavery is just one of those things. Robinson, as well as these other groups, believes that the time is ripe for reparations. Why? Just a few weeks ago, the German government began payment to Jewish victims for its culpability in the Holocaust. And the state government of Oklahoma just recently ruled to compensate direct victims and their descendants for the Tulsa race riot that completely destroyed the black community in that city. Now, some of us may say, we will never get the government to give black folk reparations. And you might be right. But if your ancestors who picked cotton from can't see to can't see could speak from the grave, they would say, hey, brother, don't let that stop you from asking. Thank you.